So, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. We're having another power talk, guys. You know the premise. The idea is this: if I only went to war and I had only 300 martial artists worldwide to pick, this is one of those people for a few reasons. And in a nutshell, for whatever's worth, Puerto Rico's on the set. Ho, a Puerto
Yeah.
Rico. Ho, a Puerto Rico. Ho. That's right, guys. Just so you know, we come in all shades and colors and styles and flavors, and all the way from Georgia, originally from Queens, New York, or maybe even before that. We're gonna find out. 'Cause this guy might have been breeded somewhere else, and I ain't gonna even try to freaking mess up your damn name. So, Senor Oliveri, is that right? I don't know.
Olivia, yeah.
Olivera, excuse me, we're in
Mm,
Georgia now. Oh, Mr.
yeah,
Olivera.
Olivia.
Shifu, what's the deal, man?
Man, it's been a long time. 7 years I've been trying to get these guys off the street. And see, I have an issue with pedophiles and people of that sort
Oh, me too.
because it's uncalled for. And when I situation, I want the world to know Jerry Fontanez came, he posted videos, he was not afraid to speak his mind. And that's the problem today. You got a lot of these, even top fighters that know that was going on and they support these dudes. Especially if you're a martial artist, come on, this is so what we're not about.
Okay, guys, let me set the premise.
Hmm.
A few years ago, and ever since then, probably a whole bunch of other times,
Hmm.
people of our industry have done things and has tarnished all of our reputations. And I don't care if it's in the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, freaking class action suits against uh, what would be Catholicism or the Catholic Church. But martial arts instructors, for some reason, think it's okay for them to put their hands on girls and boys. Believe it or not, guys, girls and freaking boys. We've seen it. I mean, so the worst nightmare would be to have your child go through this. And this gentleman went through that. Not only did he go through it, but when he reached out to a community that he would have assumed would have embraced or at least support it or expose the truth, the opposite happened, guys. The freaking opposite. And I bear witness to some of the most disturbing behaviors because if you see no evil, speak no evil, etc., you're guilty by association in one respect, I believe. And my mama told me, not my dad, 'cause my dad was incarcerated at the time, but he probably would have told me the same thing. Watch out who you hang out with because birds of a feather flock together, even though it may not be true, but you're guilty by association. So on that note specifically, and I can't believe how fast time flies, guys. This gentleman had to do a whole bunch of praying and a whole bunch of contemplation, etc. Otherwise, he would have been in jail for putting somebody away. So let's start off with that. The shock that you went through.
The shock that I started with, I never experienced rage the way I experienced it during this incident. My child was
Wait,
15.
1 second. Before that, you had
Uh-huh.
trust. You had the opposite, I would think.
Yes, I
You
would
know,
think because we were in the sports karate arena, she was on a fighting team, and I trusted this guy at first. I suspected something as we went along, but couldn't prove it. But I trusted him. He came off, he was saying he was a sheriff, he was this, he was that. But slowly but surely, things start to unravel, and I started to notice. So once that trust is betrayed, for me, it became rage because other people, I mean, people that are well respected in the sport karate arena, knew but said nothing. This man was doing this for decades, Jerry, decades.
wow.
And it would have never happened with my daughter if only one person would have spoke up.
Right.
So I decided to use social media as wanted posters to let everybody know and then everybody attacked me. I mean, South Carolina police wouldn't help, DFACS wouldn't help, the exploitation for children, that organization that's supposed to help children, everybody turned a blind eye. And that just made my rage even greater. This has been almost, my daughter's 21 now. She was 15. So this is how long I've been fighting this fight.
Well, listen, I don't mean to cut you off, but I am definitely limited in time. And this is going to be the intro to a continuation of specifics because, guys and girls, you have, oh, man, animals, lizards, snakes amongst us. And what we must do, again, this is not what you would consider, this is just the intro to what will be an ongoing series because, in a nutshell, I understand that you have a resource. We're going to just fast forward real quick and then we'll come
Right.
back into, but you have a resource right now that you're going to be able
Real
to share.
quickly, real quickly, because I know we're short on time for this introduction. After 7 years, two agencies reached out to me to help them out, gave me access to pool files and not to act upon it, but to let them know if they have a problem getting somebody, they come to me and I go to my database. And so it's a real cool and it's fully funded. So I can actually help in a way that most people feel helpless. We have numbers that they can call to get help, to get away from these people, or to even report them and let us investigate them. Don't take it into your own hands. Let us investigate them and put a solid case together. So that way, these people will be off the street because the worst person that can attack you is the one that's close to you, your teacher, your like he said, anyone that's called the Boy Scouts, your priests, and it's happening, especially here in Georgia. This is the capital of it. Sex trafficking here, it's like going to the bathroom. It's everywhere.
Wow.
So
So listen, guys, and again, this is just an intro to what will be an extensive um, outreach, but all I can say is that thank God that you didn't take things further. Thank God that you are here still to be able. I know, bro, you know I know. You
mhm,
know I know. The hardest thing is to have trust in God. And as sad as to say it, and I don't want to be out of line because that's not my intentions, but
mhm,
everything happens for a reason and purpose and it
yes,
serves us. And all I can say is that is there any way that if there's any way that I can help, whether it's past, present, and future, I'm a freaking do it because when it comes down to it, we we when you see a little child walk in the background, I always tell people, oh, there's one of the members of your board of directors because we work for these kids,
right,
and now that child is a woman, and that woman, I would hope and pray, was able to at least get through that at age 21 is different than that she was at age 15, 16, 17. So when we meet again very shortly, I want to make sure that you have the platform to go over as many explicit details as you're allowed to do to have.
right,
At the same time, we want to make sure that you guys please understand this is just the village trying to grow our children properly and being aware of what would be these animals because you never want anything like that to happen to you. And we never think it would be, but it happens and can happen to just about anybody. And I believe that you would agree with that. Hasifu?
exactly.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So, hermano, muchas gracias. This is just an intro, guys. And we shall be coming back shortly. But from the bottom of my heart, you know I love you. You know I
Definitely.
love
Right
you.
back at you.
And I know the feeling is mutual, so I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Guys, please stay tuned. But this intro, I think it opens up enough what would be curiosity for those who just did not realize what was happening or the real deal behind what seemed like out of line anger and rage. 'Cause that wasn't what was happening then. And very similar to you in the sense of not even closing the content, but people's reputations could easily be damaged by a group of people that are completely wrong for the purpose of a hidden agenda, and in this case, with something as simple as being sponsored, which is ridiculous. in my respect. Anyhow, in the famous words of crazy Puerto Rican from the Bronx, when I say AB, you say see ya. AB.
See ya.
Okay. God bless. Best wishes. And I'll give you a call right now, sir, as I'm traveling to do something else. Thank you.